All right, guys. Okay, so I figured out this equation after much studying. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. Let's see. All right. So here are the concepts. All right. Indiscriminate food intake over a weak body plus muscles over someone that's puny or obese equals aging or death. So what am I talking about here? Discriminate food intake. Indiscriminate means that you're just eating everything, you don't care. There are people that eat whatever and they don't care. On a weak body, they may work out. You see them work out, and they'll put muscles on either a puny body or an obese body. But muscles are always going to be somewhere in play, or they'll just be obese and they'll still have muscles, but they might have more muscles to hide behind. Okay, and that equals an aging or death. All right, when you're discriminating, means that you are like a vegan and vegetarian, plus then muscles on a puny body. So you're hiding behind the muscles and you're discriminatory. Okay, which means that you're only eating vegetables and fruits and that's it. On muscles on a puny body, that also will contribute to aging and death. Okay, so what's the common denominator? It's a weak body. Someone that believes that you can die, you're going to die. Someone believes in being discriminatory or indiscriminate, and you buy into the death process, the aging process. And when you're discriminatory, it means that you're also discriminating against vaccines as well. So those of you that are anti-vaxxers, okay, you're also contributing to the aging and the death process because you don't understand the role of vaccines. Okay, so those that are indiscriminatory and discriminatory as far as food intake, I got to put on here food intake. Hold on. Food, I'll put the key on here too. Food intake. And so I equals indiscriminate. And D equals discriminate. Discriminate. And then WB equals weak body. SB equals strong body. And then P equals puny. O equals obese. Okay? All right. So this has to do with food intake. So indiscriminate and discriminate on a weak body, you'll have muscles times puny times obesity. So muscles would be the common thing to times and the puny and obesity relative to which way side you are on. And that equals death. Okay? So that's on a weak body. So your food intake, if you're indiscriminate or you eat everything, you don't care, you're probably one of those that would like to work out and build muscles to show how strong you are because you're on a weak body and that's how you hide behind and think that you're healthy. Okay? When you're discriminate, you're a vegan and vegetarian. You're like, you know, doing yoga and you're working out and you're being discriminatory. You're eating organic and you're eating, you know, vegan, vegetarian, and everything. You know, you have muscles, yes, but on a puny ass body. So you're hiding behind your muscles on a puny body, and you're also aging, and you believe in death too. That's on a weak body. That's right. Then M, muscles. M equals muscles. And then M equals muscles. Okay? And then indiscriminatory and discriminatory on a strong body equals life. Why is that? Because on a strong body, you don't need to hide behind muscles. See, when people work out, they're hiding behind their muscles. They're addicted to the endorphins. They're addicted to showing a perception of who they really are not. They're not healthy, but they want to claim that they're healthy. They want to look healthy. So you see under there where it says indiscriminate food intake on a strong body equals life. You're just living. You're not living to create a perception. See, those that have all these muscles that are in the, you know, the vegan and vegetarian world, the organic and the GMO and the holistic and the allopathic, They have a perception. So when they work out and build muscles, they don't look as weak as, they don't claim to be, well, they're weak, okay, but they don't claim to be weak because they're hiding behind muscles. They're hiding behind all of their yoga and their running and all that stuff. But really, up here, you're dealing with addictions, you're dealing with imbalances, you're dealing with perceptions, you're dealing with manipulations. I need to put that up here. This all equals addiction, manipulation, false perceptions, addiction, making manipulations, false perceptions. Okay. And hiding behind weaknesses. That also really equals hiding behind weaknesses. Okay? So when you guys are practicing indiscriminate and discriminate food intake on a weak body, plus then you're playing with the muscles on a puny body or an obese body, equals aging or death, it really is addiction, manipulation, false perceptions, hiding behind weaknesses. Okay? That's what it comes down to. So this is what I'm saying. How you guys can pick out who the weak people in our society is when you see them playing the perception game. Oh, I work out, it means I'm healthy. Oh, I run, it means I'm healthy. Oh, I eat organic and vegan and vegetarian and all this means I'm healthy. No, it doesn't. It is an addiction, manipulation, false perception, hiding behind weaknesses. If someone is indiscriminate or discriminate in their food intake and it's relative to what they do for a living, right? On a strong body, they're just going to live. They're not going to play these games of muscles and creating false perceptions. No, they're just living. They're not making a living out of creating a perception. Okay, it's just life. So then this is the key. The key, M is for muscles, O is for obese, P is for puny, SB is strong body, weak body, indiscriminate, discriminate. So yeah, this I need to put in the book. All right, hopefully that's clear. All right, bye. Oh wait, there you are, Kevin. Hey, Kevin, see this? I want you to put this in the book, Kevin. I'm gonna email this to you, Kevin. Okay. But there's this formula. Hopefully, are you there? Respond to say you can hear me. Just say, hey, Julian, what's up? Because I see you just joined. All right, let me explain this again. Okay. All right, so you liked it. Okay, great. All right. Oh, I'm thirsty too. Let me drink some water. This is some tap water I put in my fridge. And just FYI, hey, I didn't even put any of the juice in this. I just left it out. And then when I actually take this from the spigot, hi, I can feel like a release of fumes, which is the chlorine, and then it doesn't smell anymore. So when I actually leave it out inside my fridge in a covered thing, and I let the water go into this, I feel the escape of the fumes, and then there's no more chlorine. It's all been dissipated, and now the water tastes amazing. So that's awesome, just so you know. All right, so this is what I want to be in the book, and I'm gonna take a picture of this. Maybe you can do something with it. But this is about food intake. Okay, so when somebody is obese, they're not in the J juice, they're obese or they're really skinny. Well, they're on a weak body, and so they're eating the puny or obese, and they'll play with their muscles to make it look like they're healthy. Because when somebody plays with their muscles, not on the J juice, they're hiding behind the weaknesses, trying to create a false perception. Now, probably there's a nicer way to write this, but I don't know how nice you can be when you're saying, hey, there's addictions going on, there's manipulation going on, there's false perceptions going on, and then people are hiding behind their weaknesses. So what I'm attempting to kind of show people is that those that sell these exercise regimes, those that are not on the J juice, not bringing in J juice at all, they're hiding behind a perception. Haha, they're hiding behind a perception that they're healthy, because muscles in our society means that you're healthy. No, it doesn't. Muscles in our society, in the mainstream, not on J juice, does not mean you're healthy. It just shows a perception through a manipulation of addictions and the fact that your body is weak and you're playing the discrimination game. And so if you build your muscles and you claim to be vegan, vegetarian, hating the carnivores, saying that they have all this high cholesterol, okay, you're hiding behind the muscles to create a perception that you're healthier than those carnivores that are out there, when actually it could be quite the opposite. Not every carnivore has high cholesterol. Not every carnivore has all these cancer, disease, and chronic illness. There are a lot of vegans and vegetarians that have high cholesterol and have mental illness. There are a lot of vegetarians and vegans that have cancer, disease, and chronic illness. Okay? And then when you work out, you're now creating a false perception that you're healthy. Okay? So what I'm attempting to do is now create this. Now Bridget's coming on board. That's great. Bridget, take a look at this. Maybe we can show this to some scientists in your world. Okay? Food intake, indiscriminate. Discriminate. Indiscriminate means someone that eats whatever. They don't have no discrimination on food. On a weak body, or you're discriminate. You're a vegan and vegetarian. Plus then you're playing with your muscle. That's what M is. Times then the puny and obesity. So when you have muscles on a puny body, because you can be indiscriminate or food and be obese, right? Because people who eat everything on a weak body, they become fatter and fatter and fatter, right? You see them gaining weight, gaining weight, gaining weight. Then someone who is discriminate, who's like a vegan and vegetarian, and so they're missing vital nutrients in the food supply because they're only eating vegetables and fruits. Now they have a very puny body. They're weak. You don't want to hire them to do any kind of long, laborious, labor-intensive work because they wouldn't be able to handle it. So that equals aging and death. So what's the common denominator? Well, the muscles on a puny and obese body and a weak body, and they could be discriminate or indiscriminate. At first, I was doing this. So this is my first thing to have me get to this point, okay, is I was doing this, indiscriminate, doing the cross, multiplication, and then there you go, the puny, and then I had to go bring in the puny and obesity and the muscles, because you can be puny and obese and have muscles, okay? Then I'm like, oh, hold on a second, let me make this a better type of formula. So now you have indiscriminate, discriminate on a weak body or a strong body. But the difference is on a weak body, you're playing with the muscles to create a perception. On a puny and or obese body, and then you're seeing then the equals addictions, because people who play with their muscles have addictions, addicted to their own hormones, and then they're manipulating their friends and family thinking that they're healthy, making them wrong for not working out, creating false perceptions, hiding behind their weaknesses. Then you have the indiscriminate, discriminate person who eats food, whether they're discriminate, whether they're vegan or vegetarian, like Kevin. Kevin is probably a vegan or a vegetarian. He probably doesn't eat meat at all, but Kevin's on the J juice, and he's not doing anything labor intensive, so he doesn't need to be eating anything crazy to build up all the calories and the proteins and whatever. Okay, so he's discriminate. But then there's me, who's indiscriminate. I'll eat whatever, I don't care. I'm on the J juice, and I'm on a strong body. And guess what? I'm gonna live. I'm not creating any false perceptions. I'm not manipulating anybody to think that I'm healthier than them. I don't need to build my muscles. I don't need to show everybody that, oh, I have a six-pack, because I don't need a six-pack to prove that I'm healthy, okay? Because I have a well-balanced body. So there is no kind of image I have to put out there. You see these guys that are showing off their muscles, and they have this huge following because there's this false perception that muscles equals health, and that's not so. Now, if you're looking to get a girl who buys into that perception, then great. Kevin needs to work out so we can get that girl, because Kevin needs to get laid occasionally. That's fine. But he's also very healthy too, because he's taking in the right nutrients, and he's bringing in a little bit of the muscles to help, get the girl or make him feel better, if he's still doing that. I don't know. Okay, but those that are not doing J juice, playing with the muscles, they're creating a false perception, and they're playing the discrimination game, creating a false perception. So this is really truly what is behind the allopathic holistic workout world industry. The accountability coaches that make you work out online and everything. They create a false perception. They're aging rapidly. Aging and degrading, hiding behind their muscles and their disciplined lifestyle of addictions to their hormones. Okay, it's the reality of the workout industry. So that's about food intake. Okay. So I'll take a picture of this. Put it, you know. But anyways, but you guys have to understand how to look at people. Oh, Kevin said, now I got a healthy, natural muscles look, and that's all I meant. Very good. Okay. So you're not really building up your muscles to where you're looking like, you know, a Brahma bull. That's good. But yeah, I mean, my husband, he doesn't work out crazy. Of course not. He throws steel. He has natural muscles because of his job. So he doesn't have to play the, oh, I got to work out, look like I'm, you know, healthy type of thing, because he is healthy relative, but I mean, he could be healthier, but he doesn't need to work out to prove it. So those of you that believe in aging and and dying and death and all of that, yeah, you're weak. You know, I mean, you don't have to die in our society if you understand how to bring in the right elements. You know, you can actually derive benefit from the viruses that we're all exposed to. You don't have to die from viruses. People don't have to die from cancer. See, cancer is not something that people need to be afraid of, but it's afraid of because they haven't strengthened their body. It's not even about saying, okay, I'm not going to do these remedies that are out there when someone gets diagnosed with cancer, because when someone has a programming of cancer in their body, it's because they haven't strengthened the programming in their body. And so, yeah, they're going to have to take these remedies that are out there, like chemotherapy or cannabis or other types of therapies that are out there, because somebody or something has to stop the program if they can't upload the right programming in their body. But some people are so weak that they cannot handle some of the remedies out there, the chemotherapy or the cannabis or the detoxes. So no matter what a person does to stop the programming, it's not going to work on a weak body. On a strong body, any programming that you stop is going to work. Okay, any programming that you bring in that stops the programming is going to work on a strong body, but over time it's not going to be. However, with J juice, you would not contract cancer on a strong body because you've brought in different programming. Cancer, all cancer is the virus programming that supersedes the body's programming. That's all cancer is. But if you actually strengthen your body's programming, you can actually derive benefit from those viruses. Okay? So those of you that are dealing with cancer, disease, chronic illness, obesity, puniness, weakness, mental illness, you have a programming in your body that's out of control, and you haven't upgraded your body to be able to handle the new information in the universe. You haven't been able to handle that. And so that's why people are dying in our society, because they have not upgraded their body or the programming in their food to handle the ever-changing environment. Because no matter what, life is constant change. But the difference is, can you adapt to the changes? And why you're seeing cancer, disease, and chronic illness and obesity and autoimmune disorders, because all of this new information, all these new viruses that are good or bad relative to what you bring to the table, a person can't handle it. That's why you have all this cancer, disease, and chronic illness, because they cannot handle their environment, because the viruses are going to be around no matter what. Okay? So that's why you have to keep upgrading your body and upgrading the type of food you're bringing in, and that is the right data. That is the J juice. But if you don't bring the J juice around, then guess what you're going to do? You're going to go and play with your muscles and play the discrimination game, because that's all you know how to play, to create a perception that you're healthy even when you're not. So those that play the discrimination game, that are afraid of the vaccines, that go and want to go work out and build muscles and play the fear factor, you're hiding behind your weaknesses, your inability to adapt to your environment. And then you create a false perception that you're healthy, that you're happy. Oh no, honey. To be healthy and happy relative in our society is bringing in the right programming, being well balanced, where you're just living, not creating a false perception. When you're not playing the discrimination game, the divide and conquer game. When you actually bring in the right nutrition, change your biochemistry, and then all you're going to be doing is basically living. You're not going to be trying to create muscles on a puny or obese body. So when somebody is discriminatory in their food intake or indiscriminate on their food intake on a weak body, they'll play the muscles game. They'll play the building the muscles on a puny or obese body. They may not play with the muscles, but they'll be puny or they'll be obese and or equal aging. They'll be aging as well. See, weak bodies will be muscly, puny, obese, and aging, and they're on their way to death trajectory. Aging equals muscly, puny, obese people on a weak body, and they could be either indiscriminate in their food intake or discriminatory. Okay? So if you fall in any of these categories where you're muscly, puny, obese, or aging in death, you're basically weak. You need to up your game, babies. And if you don't up your game, guess what the outcome is? Aging and death. Some of you are closer to the others. And it could happen at any point in time because you don't know what's going to trigger something to happen. And heart attacks happen in both men and women, elderly as well as not. And if you're not upping your game with the right programming, with the J juice, you're gambling with any of these three things. And so on a well-balanced body, your indiscriminate or discriminatory food intake on a strong body will, no matter what, will be life. Because you will be able to handle your environment and you're not playing the games. You're not playing the obesity or puny game. You're not playing the muscly game. You have nothing else to prove except you're just living. And that's it. Life. So this needs to be in the book. Because this right here tells you if you're aging, muscly, or puny or obese, weak body, and it doesn't matter if you're, vegan, vegetarian, or if you're taking in all the food. That's right, Kevin. But you have to speak in layman's terms too, Kevin. You can say catabolic and anabolic, but remember, we're dealing with lay people. You're speaking very, very technical terms. You got to say if you're aging. This is the lay person. This is the regular person who's not going to know what catabolic and anabolic. And even if they Google it, they're not going to know what it means in the bigger picture. If somebody's aging, that's why I got to speak to people's listenings. You'll speak to some of the science people who studied catabolic and anabolic. But a regular lay person who is just trying to understand this information just from a very lay point of view, you got to speak their language. If you're aging and you're playing with the muscles and you're puny and or obese, you have a weak body, and it doesn't matter if you're playing the indiscriminate or discrimination game. It won't matter if you're playing with muscles on a puny obese body and you're aging to the death. So this is how we have to really show people that this is what the imbalances relay within the aging, muscly, puny, obese people. Okay? I'm talking to you now. What does that mean? Are you trying to call me? My phone's upstairs. I don't hear it. Anyways. Oh, okay. So you're trying to say it now. Yeah, okay, that's fine. But I want to make sure we remember that we keep it lay, but I hear you saying. All right, I'm gonna go do your thing. But just get that. Hopefully that's a concept that will resonate. I'm gonna download this. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later. Bye.